Welcome to Aline's Adventures, my Nomad Life. 2 years after I had pituitary gland surgery in 2021, we figured out there is a second tumor that they missed. So we went to Istanbul, Turkey to get gamma knife treatment to get that second tumor out, and that was in April 2024. And since then, we are living a nomad life. So we almost got rid of everything we owned before we left the US. We put some stuff into storage, and now we're just traveling around with our suitcases and are nomads. We are living a nomadic lifestyle on a budget because I still have some debts to pay back, and we also want to save up money in case for upcoming health expenses. We arrived in Tirana, Albania a little bit before 11 p.m. 1.5 hours too late. I didn't really care. The bus ride was great for me. Finally, I didn't feel nauseous. I felt great. So we took a cab to get to our Airbnb where we would spend the next 2 days. So we got out of the cab and there was like a really sketchy, dark alley. So we arrived at the building and Paul had to pull up his computer to figure out which one is our Airbnb apartment. It was 3 flights upstairs. Our check-in bag is fucking heavy. We call it Fat Boy now. But luckily, Paul somehow managed to get it up there. Here is part 1, how we got from Ulcinj, Montenegro to Tirana, Albania. This is part 2, how we will get to Sarandë, Albania. On our way to Sarandë, we decided to stay 2 nights in Tirana, Albania, and we were both so glad we did that. Especially after the trip to Split, Croatia, my EBV got reactivated again. Not really reactivated, I think it was always still active, but it got much more active. EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, so I really could use the rest. So on Sunday, September 29th, 2024, we had 1 day in Tirana, Albania. So we got to an ATM machine to get some Albanian leg. We went to Spar to get some meat for me. Oh my gosh, I was so glad on Sundays. It looked like basically everything was open there. That's what I hate and always hated in Switzerland. On Sundays, everything is just closed. Anyways, the Spar was super small and I could only find chicken and some I think turkey steak thingies, whatever, thin stuff, and 200 grams packages of ground beef, such small packages. So we bought 4 of those ground beef packages and water. It is advised not to drink the tap water in Albania. We go back to the Airbnb, and to get up those 3 flights of stairs was really hard for me. I was slow. My legs felt like cello and lead again, both at the same time. Yes, definitely my EBV was totally active again. Here is the first video how it got active. Already in the morning, it was really hard for me to wake up and to get up. I just felt so tired. Yeah, I was weak, dizzy, a little bit nauseous. I was hoping eating something would help. I made some ground beef and also ate the 2 eggs I still brought from Montenegro, and yes, it did help. I felt much better, but still so fucking tired. So Paul went outside again to get himself a shawarma and to just look around more in Tirana. I stayed in the hotel room, I started watching a movie and passed out. I was so tired. And also that headache started again that I kept having every single day for like, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. It was really annoying. Unfortunately, I didn't get that much sleep, and even when I woke up, I was still so fucking tired. It was bad. So I was really so glad that we got an extra day, an extra night in Tirana before we had to catch our next bus to Sarandë. The next day, September 30th, 2024, we waited for the taxi. So the taxi driver that brought us to our Airbnb gave us his number. So already the day before, Paul texted him that we need a taxi at 8:30 in the morning to pick us up. So that driver, he texted us that he is stuck in traffic somewhere and he will send his colleague. So his colleague finally showed up at 8:55, and it was really, the traffic was so bad, it was crazy. Our bus was supposed to leave at 9:45 a.m. So it took us quite a while to get to the bus station, but we still arrived way early enough. Paul always calculates everything, like what could happen, so we are usually always really early, so that's great. And the bus actually didn't leave until 10 after 10, and it was supposed to leave at 9:45. Yes, Albania. The bus station didn't really look very organized anyways, and there were a lot of buses that went to Sarandë. So for a while we were standing outside in front of the bus waiting, and then I saw how a couple just got into the bus and reserved both rows in the very front, right behind the driver. Those are usually the seats Paul and I like to use, so I'm like, fuck it. And so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get in there too and reserve some seats. So I just got in there, didn't have to show a ticket or anything. Well, the driver wasn't anywhere around anyways, and I saw in the very back 5 seats, like a bench, in the very, very back, still all empty. Okay, let's reserve that. So when the bus started to get more full and full, I was so hoping and praying that we were able to keep this whole bench to ourselves and we didn't have to give up any seats. So because I already figured that actually out back in Reno, Nevada, USA, that when I can lay down in a moving vehicle, I feel much better. The chance of me getting nauseous, dizzy, or whatever is so much lower. And the last 2 bus rides we had in our Nomad Life, I was able to lay down for a while during those rides, and instantly I felt so much better. So actually this is the best when I can lay down. But if I can't lie down, if I have to sit up, it's the best to sit right behind the driver, just the very front. It's like with a roller coaster, the further back you're sitting, the crazier it gets. That's always where I used to sit. I always wanted to be in the very, very back because then I loved it all crazy and stuff. I never got nauseous, but that's not the case anymore. So if I have to sit in a bus, I love to sit right behind the driver. But what is even better is laying down, and you can only really lay down in the very, very back. But if you have to sit in the very, very back, it's the worst space to sit. So it's always a gamble. So I was praying and hoping, and the bus got fuller and fuller and fuller, but yes, score. We got the whole back seat to ourselves. I even saw some jealous looks from the others. 5 seats just for us, and the bus is really full. I got it so I can lay down, so I feel 80% better. The bus kept stopping at bus stops and other people got in, but there were still other seats they were available. So yeah, we didn't have to give up any of our seats. So I was just laying down. I could watch a movie, I ate, I did Duolingo. Yeah, it was great. So at the very beginning of the bus ride, I actually was a little bit nauseous, but I could lay down right away. So I knew if that wouldn't have been possible, if I would have to sit up, it would have gotten so much worse. 88% worse. No, 95% worse. So the laying down really helped so much, and the nausea went away. So at 1:45 p.m. the bus stopped again. 2 more people came in, and there was really no other seats available except for our row. So we had to sit up and give up 2 of the 5 seats. The bus ride took about 5.5 to 6 hours, and for 1 hour and 15 minutes I couldn't lay down. So hell, that was great. That was a super win. And even during that time where I had to sit up and it was a really mountainous road, very curvy, I felt great. I didn't feel nauseous at all. I could even do Duolingo, I could read, I could watch a movie, I could look outside. So maybe it is very important for my body to lay down at the very beginning of the bus ride. And then later on, even if I sit up, I'm totally fine. So I really, really have to try to be able to lay down in every bus ride we are taking. It really makes traveling so much easier. I'm so happy like that. I'm so happy I figured that out. And I really hope in the future I can always lay down in a bus, at least in a bus, maybe even in a long taxi ride. So that bus ride was great for me. We arrived in Sarandë, Albania. We got a taxi to our Airbnb in Sarandë, where we stayed the next 28 days. Thank you for watching another video. Subscribe here to figure out how it was in Sarandë and to watch many, many more videos about my nomad life, about Aline's adventures. Stay happy, stay healthy.